If you've been looking at control balance off the reformer wondering, ugh, am I ever going to do that? That looks crazy. It looks a little ridiculous, right? Well, here's the deal. It is an advanced exercise, but a lot of people can do control balance off the reformer sooner than they think. They just need to know a few tips, some tricks, and a few permission slips. So let's get into it.
Welcome to OnlinePilatesClasses.com, the most supportive Pilates-loving community across the globe. Enjoy new weekly classes from our amazing teachers. Download the OnlinePilatesClasses.com app today.
I'm Lesley Logan, co-founder of OnlinePilatesClasses.com. I've been teaching Pilates since 2008, been doing it since 2005. And the thing about control balance off the reformer is, so when I saw it in my manual, my teaching manual, I thought, who is this for? Why would anyone do this? And then I did it. And you're like, okay, I want to do that all the time because it's kind of fun to do gymnastics-like things. Like, I'm not going to ever do, some sort of vault, in the Olympics, but I do like a little somersault cartwheel off a reformer. Yes, I do. And the reality is that the moment you start Pilates, you're actually practicing for control balance off the reformer. The moment you start, from your rolling like a ball to your double straight leg stretches to your single straight leg stretches and your jackknives. There are, of course, other exercises on other pieces of equipment that are so helpful, but your mat practice is helping you get there. Each rep is going to build up to it. So what I want to get into in today's video is just breaking down the exercise and the exercise that build up to it and showing you just how you can get a control balance off on your reformer. Let's dive into why control balance off seems difficult. Well, let's first of all just look at the space of our carriage. I mean, I'm taking up the whole space just sitting on it. So it feels like there's not enough room. Second, a lot of people actually have misconceptions about where you start control balance off on your reformer. And so it's very difficult if you set yourself up between these shoulder rests, okay? It's also can be difficult if you think that you have to be super flexible or most perfect person at any overhead exercise, because that's just a standard you're never going to meet, right? And then there's the whole, landing on one leg. Ta-da! That can seem hard, especially if you have a hard time to stay on one leg, right? So there's a few things that seem, and then also, there is the fear, right? Let's not put that out of what we're talking about here. The fear of, oh my God, am I going to fall off? And you might, right? If you do it wrong, you're going to roll off the side, but it's not that far. It's not that far. So I think it's important to, one, take a moment to feel your fear, explore what really could happen, and understand what we can do if that does happen, so that it kind of takes away the power that fear can have inside your brain. So first I want to talk about what makes control balance off on the reformer a little more possible than you think. Some people want to say easier, I'm going to say possible, because exercise and Pilates do not get easier, they just get more possible, okay? So you have, like I said earlier in this video, been building the skills all along, especially if you have a mat and reformer practice, or if you have access to other pieces of equipment. Control balance off the reformer is not this wildly crazy different exercise. If you have my reformer flashcards and you were to flip it around, you would see that it's a single leg elephant, it's single straight leg stretch, it's tree, right? So it's rolling like a ball, it's your single leg stretch, it's open leg rocker, it's tendon stretch. So it's in you. It's just a new way of doing something your body has been building towards. Number two, it's actually all about connection and not force. In fact, when I've seen people try to force it, they actually are the ones who kind of roll off the side, okay? Because when you move your legs from your center and you're standing on your shoulders from your center, it's almost like physics takes you off, okay? Just the fact that you're reaching a leg so far back, reaching it so far away, you almost have to roll off and land because there is a floor there. So it's this really cool thing. Do you ever remember in geometry when you would just draw an infinite line? And it's like, okay, well, if that line is infinite, is it a straight line? Or is that infinite line actually at some point going to go up, right? It's the same way you're going to reach your leg. You're going to reach your leg so far away from you, but because of the angle of the body that line is coming from, it has to land on the ground and you stand up. So it's more about the connection and where you feel you're moving your body from, and the opposition of your arms and back moving from one direction, your legs in the other direction, that you just kind of land. It's really quite cool, and you'll surprise yourself, and then you'll want to do it again. Number 3, your mind will actually help you move better. We all know where our like focus goes, that's where energy flows. So if you're thinking about going down, that's where you're gonna go, right? But if you're actually bringing that mind-body connection to all your Pilates practices, you will be surprised at how you can do this exercise sooner than you think. So part of it's visual, a lot of it is just your mind paying attention to what your body is doing as opposed to what you don't want your body to be doing. All right, and our 4th thing that I want you to consider is that small steps actually do make big progress. So even if you omit control balance off the reformer when you're in your reformer practice and you do something else like short spine or another single leg elephant or tendon stretch leg back, you are still building up to a future control balance off. Or when you're doing your mat practice, if you do single straight leg stretch again or open leg rocker again or a jackknife again, you are building up to control balance on the mat. Every single time you do your Pilates practice is building you there, like I said in the first step. And so I want you to understand that small steps are going to get you there. And the other thing is there are multiple parts to control balance off, which I'll show you today. And you can, kind of like I say with a teaser, it's a teaser train, get off the stop you want. You can actually do the same thing with your control balance off until you've built up the connections you need and the mind-body connection you need to get all the way off that reformer and then get back on. If you have been loving how I can talk about these exercises build up to this exercise we're talking about today, then you're going to love this free guide that I've created on how to break down any advanced exercise. So if you are wanting to see like what are the different ways that you can consider breaking down any advanced exercise so that no matter where you are in your practice, you're building yourself up to it, go to opc.me/advanced. All right, so I want to get into all the different exercises you could be making sure you're doing to prepare for control balance off, but also we should do it so that you can see these things in action, all right? So before, if you want like a full detail, we have all those tutorials and everything, but you wanna make sure your foot bar is down. I get a lot of people tagging me in their control balance off with a foot bar that is up or a jump board that is in. Get it out of the way. Safety, okay? Next thing, headrest needs to be down. So if you at all get your head over on that headrest, it's a flat headrest. And then you have 2 springs on the reformer, okay? And that just keeps it as a safety as well. You don't want to only have 1 spring on. Now, you want to slide out. And by the way, control balance off on the reformer comes like towards the last third of your reformer workout because you will have done a ton of the stuff I'm about to talk about. So notice how I took my forearms like a genie. I put them over my head. And that is the space I want between my head and my shoulder rests so that I can get into this exercise. Okay, now that we are on where we need to be on the carriage, I can grab the shoulder rests, bring my knees into my chest, and do a reverse rolling like a ball into a jackknife. Okay, so there you go. Then we're going to do the prep. So my left hand comes to the top of the shoulder rest, and my right leg goes to the frame, right? And a lot of people like to collapse here. Reach it. Now that's single straight leg stretch right there, right, isn't it? And it's tree and it's elephant. I bring the legs back together and then I switch the hands and I do the prep again. That is also side leg kick, single leg circles. And then I go back to the first side and I'm working this hand into the shoulder rest and I'm reaching this leg up and it goes up so much as this leg goes back so much, and because they're going up and they're going back. Physics says I have to come off. I didn't take that class, but I'm assuming that's what it means. And then you come up and your chest is now going through a tall back into extensions. There's your swan prep. This leg is holding itself up like it would for single leg kick or side leg kick, right? And then now I have to come back down. So now I have to do a roll up, right? I have to round into myself. And then I'm going to look at this back leg. I'm going to look at it. I'm going to look at it. I'm going to look at it. And because of physics and gravity, you come down. Boom. That's it. So, did you hear how many exercises that I listed in there? And there are so many more. So let's talk about them. All right. So now that you've seen it, we're all on the same page. Now let's talk about those smaller exercises. So, and by the way, these are not an exhaustive list, but these are ones that if I was to see you do them, I would be like, oh yeah, we're getting closer to control balance off, right? So rolling like a ball. Can you balance in your rolling like a ball upside down for 2 full seconds? Not on your neck, on your shoulders. And then when you come up, do you balance and not let your feet touch the mat? If you have that control, I know we can balance and talk about taking our legs up. right? Swan prep. Can you do extension through your thoracic, or are you doing it through your lower back? If you're doing it through your lower back, when we come off, you're going to feel like you're about to fall because nobody wants to balance on one leg in their lower back. It's not going to feel very good, right? Single straight leg stretch. When you do single straight leg stretch, it's in part of the ab series. When you do it, you'll see that there's one leg that's in the hands and there's one leg that's free. That leg that's free, if someone were to come and push on that leg, would you sit up or that leg hit the ground? If that leg would hit the ground, right, then we are not connected. That your free leg should be so connected that if someone pushes on it, whoop, you just sit right up. That's how you want that to be. Or you can almost do open leg rocker with your legs split like that and they would stay apart, okay? Single leg kick. You get that extension that we need to have at the top, but also you're getting that hamstring strength that we need to support those legs. Single leg circles. That standing leg, when you come off, is that same leg that's on the mat straight with one leg up doing its circling thing. Yeah? Jackknife. It's a big exercise. It is an advanced mat exercise, but it brings everything we need to stand on our shoulders. Can you control yourself down in your jackknife? If you can't, if you just flop down the back arches, we got to get that control first, okay? And one more thing on your mat would be shoulder bridge. This is an exercise that you don't even have to do the kicks yet. You can start off just doing the bridge part. It gets you getting used to standing on your shoulders. Then when you have those kicks in without your hips dipping, so if you have a kick and a hip drops down, it's going to make for a hard control balance, right? Because one leg's going to be up, one leg's going to be down, you're going to be falling down on your side. So definitely get that shoulder bridge in there. And those are just the mat exercises. There's so many on the reformer that we could talk about. I've named a few in this video, but it's important that we don't get so excited about these big, beautiful exercises that have a cartwheel off that we skip building our foundations. And your mat is something you can practice daily, right? You don't have to always have access to a reformer to build yourself up to control balance off. If you're really interested in doing control balance off your reformer, I actually have a really fun series. It's not free, but it's not crazy expensive. And I'm really proud of it because people still talk about it to this day. And we did it a couple years ago. And every single person found their control balance. That's why it's called Control Your Balance Challenge. So I want you to go to opc.me/CYBC. opc.me/CYBC. You're going to get 3 classes that also have many workshops attached, and each reformer class will build you up to finding your version of control balance off. So why is control balance worth practicing? Well, first of all, it actually is going to combine all the efforting you've been doing in your Pilates practice and allow you to see what it's been building towards, challenge your balance, challenge your stamina, challenge your endurance, and boost the confidence, because it's pretty cool even when you only get the prep for the first time, or only if your foot comes down and you kind of like slither off. There is something really fun and exhilarating about it. Have you done a somersault lately? No, of course you haven't. So this is so fun. Builds the confidence, and most importantly, it reveals where we have more work to do in our other exercises. So it allows you to be curious when you go back to your practice the next day and you get to that rolling like a ball. It's like, what else can I juice out of this? Because it's going to make the control balance even more possible. And of course, we are not doing Pilates just to be perfect at control balance or any other advanced Pilates exercise. Although it is fun party tricks, isn't it? We are doing it so we can do different things in our life better. And I promise you, there will be times in your life when you're going to miss a step, you're going to stumble, you're going to fall. I have done a somersault off a motorcycle and I stood up afterwards. And it is not because I'm perfect at any exercise, but because I do have a consistent Pilates practice that has me rolling like a ball and staying up on 2 feet. So it's always worth giving it a try and allowing your practice to reveal how great you've made connections and where we have work to go. Thank you so much for watching this video with me today. I hope this was helpful. I hope it has your brain thinking. I hope it has you fallen in love with your foundational Pilates practice as well. If you would like to check out the guide, you can go to opc.me/advanced. And if you want to grab those classes and really find what your control balance is, go to opc.me/CYBC. And if you are wanting to have me take a look at your control balance off on your reformer or even on your mat, we do that for OPC members. So you can just go to onlinepilatesclasses.com/YouTube and join OPC. not only have consistency and community and a place to ask questions about your practice and learn how to connect the dots on so many exercises, but you can submit a video of you doing control balance off, and I will tell you what's going on, where you have to work on, what exercises to add to your practice. Thank you so much. Have an amazing day.